4.2, and we also try as hard as possible to publish papers in Q1 and Q2 paper only. Actually, starting from this year, I think on this or last year, if staff manage to publish papers in Q1 or Q2, and then they will get some money from the university as a gift. But the money you cannot spend to buy food. You have to use it for research only. Huh? All right, this is top 10 journals in 2020, 21 paper Q1 in IEEE Access. The number 2 is 15 papers in general. This is just the journals that we normally publish in. Okay, this is a global networking ISI co-authorship with 66 countries in 2020. I think this one is important to show you, because one of the our intention of the meeting this morning is about co-publication, isn't it? So this is what we have done so far with 66 countries in the world in 2020. So in America, in Asia, we have Indonesia, I saw already. Indonesia, we have 45 papers we publish in, it's like in partnership with some researchers in Indonesia. But the most is Saudi Arabia, 90, which is a lot, isn't it? And in Africa, we have Nigeria, which is 83. So the thing that we want to do to join publication between UPS and is actually we have done it already with some other universities as well. Huh? Okay, so this one is a KPI, Faculty Research KPI 2020. KPI is very important actually, because it is a measure how do you achieve the faculty or you as a staff, like I told you just now, isn't it? My KPI for 1 year to publish a 4 ISI paper. So if I publish 4 ISI paper, then my KPI should be okay in for that section. So this is a KPI of the faculty. So each year for 2020, the number of ISI publication, the KPI that the university gave us is 574. So we have to publish actually 574 papers. But at the end of the year, we managed to publish more than that, which is 651. So if you look, most of that consultation through UPU, and also international grant. We actually have to get up to 185,000, but we only managed to get 700,000 international grant, which is not very good, isn't it? But this one, consultation through UPUM, this one I am very confident. It is actually not only 26, it is more than that. There are some lecturers who did consultation without going through UPUM. UPUM is a university unit. UPUM is unit perundangan Universiti Malaya, or consultation unit Universiti Malaya. So the way to do it is, if you do some consultation, you have to do it through UPUM, through a proper channel. But there are a lot of lecturers who did not do it, and they don't declare. When they don't declare, it cannot be counted as your KPI. And the reason for not declaring can be 2 reasons. Number one is, in order to declare, it is not that easy. The paperwork, you have to do a lot of things. Sometimes we are so lazy to do it. Number 2, if you do it through UPUM, through UN, you have to allocate some. Maybe they will get, you have to give it to like 20% of the total. So if the total of 100,000, it's like 20,000 you have to give it to UN. But I'm sure it is not because of that that reason for some. We are too lazy to do it. Okay, faculty research quality objective 2020, percentage of research paper, a research project in the form of joint venture with industry, 5%. Percentage of ISI publication in Q1 and Q2, 30%. So in total, we published 351 and 452. Oh, the target is 30%, but managed to achieve 70%. 70% of the total publication in ISI is published in Q1 and Q2, which is high, isn't it? Percentage of publication with industry, 5%. This is the KPI, but we managed to get 8%. Facilities, this is just some nice pictures. I just show you the nice pictures. That is normally people do that. We don't show you bad pictures. This is the class we have. This is the lecture room where we did lectures. But of course, because of the pandemic now, everything is online. It's been for 2 years already, but actually we call up all our students. We want to have normal lectures, and we will inject all of them first with vaccination. So this is engineering faculty. Engineering faculty. Oh, before I end, I have 2 more slides. This is in case you've been to Malaysia yet. So this is here, Mr. Malaya here. And we are right at the center of Kuala Lumpur. This is Petronas, the most famous building in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Petronas Twin Tower. So if you want to go to Twin Tower from it's about 10 kilometers. I tried to Google last night to use a Google map, how to get there from to Petronas Tower. I think at that time it was at 12 o'clock at night. Take about 10 minutes, I think, 10 minutes to get from to Petronas Tower. But of course, if during the daytime, when the traffic is not very good, can take about half an hour or something like that. Okay, and finally, this is the map of we have 2 main gates. Number 1 is, we call it KL gate. KL is Kuala Lumpur, KL gate. The other one is PJ gate, Petaling Jaya gate. Yeah. So the good thing about is everything is very close to each other. So as soon as you get into here through KL gate, the first thing that you will see is Faculty of Law on the left-hand side. And then Asrama, which is first college here. I will go through tell you about the colleges first. The colleges are the Asrama where the students stay. So this is first college here, and this is second college. This is my college actually. Actually, at the moment, I am at second college. I told you already, isn't it? I'm the pengetua of second college. So I live here, looking after the students. So second college, we have the capacity, the maximum capacity of 850 students. 850 students all together. And we have 12 colleges altogether in can accommodate up to, I think, about 15,000 students altogether. So this is first college, second college. Where is third college? Third college is here. Fourth is here. Fifth is somewhere here. Sixth college is here. 7 here. 8 here. 9 is outside. 10, which is international college, which is for international students. 10 here, 11 and 12. 12 colleges, all together, 12 colleges, they're all around here. And in terms of the faculty, as soon as you get into here, this is law faculty. And this one is medicine, faculty of medicine, faculty of dentistry. And this one is engineering here. This is where I am at. Economy, business, accounting, and faculty of science somewhere here. Faculty of computer science here. Islamic studies, pre-university here. So this is everything is close to each other. And one of the best thing about is we have two things. Number one is this Tasik Lake, which is like in the middle of So every afternoon, in the evening, there are a lot of students like very lively. A lot of students doing jogging here, and even now in the afternoon, people will be everywhere. But not now because it is on holiday now. And also we have the second thing is we have the hutan, a jungle, right in the middle of here. And normally when we have like a marathon or something, what would you call it? Run. Student they will be asked to run, pushing this jungle here. We call it rimba ilmu. Huh? But I think that is all my presentation: determination, perseverance, and grit. But before one more thing before I end my presentation here, because the whole thing about our meeting this morning is about how to do joint collaboration, isn't it? And I have asked the faculty already, what is how do normally people do it at the faculty? And they said that there are 3 ways to do it. Number one is by signing MOA or MOU. Normally we will sign MOA, not MOU, because after some time the university realized that they signed a lot of MOU, but nothing happens, because MOU is just a mutual of understanding, a memorandum of understanding. You understand me and I understand you, that is all. But normally we would like to do MOA, so memorandum of agreement. So we set some of the activities that we want to do between the 2 universities. For example, one of the universities in Malaysia, I think it's UTM, I think, University Technical in Malaya. They did MOU with one university by because that university in Indonesia, they want to send their staff to do PhD at UTM. So they signed some MOA. What they did is they will have like a discounted fee for the staff from that university to do a PhD with them. So also we can do joint collaboration, joint supervision as well. So that is number one, by signing MOA or MOU, it doesn't matter. But that one is very official. When we did that, normally our VC, Vice Chancellor, which is, I don't know, I don't know what do you call it in UPS, in Indonesia. But in Malaysia, the boss of the university is the Vice Chancellor. I think you call it rector, isn't it? I don't know. So when we want to sign MOA and MOU, it is them to sign. It is like a biggie, a biggie. Everything has to do it like very proper. That is number one. Number two, by doing unofficial collaboration, like Faculty of Engineering at UPS, we have some meetings between the department, between the Department of Mechanical UPS and Mechanical Engineering UM. We can do some meeting, and then we can do like semi-official collaboration between the two between the two departments, between the two units. That can be done as well, and that one is a bit less hassle because you know, when you want to sign MOU, MOA, you have to go right to the top. Legal office will be involved as well. A lot of things. Huh? Like what I said just now, everything has to be proper, isn't it? Because it involves high-ranking people. But if you want to do the second one, unofficial collaboration, that is okay as well. Okay, number 3, by doing some joint supervision, that is a good thing as well, because you know that we want to do joint research. Normally, when we're talking about research, we are talking about supervising PhD student. So it's a good thing if we can have some. Let's say that I have one PhD student, and then maybe you have some expert in UPS as well who can contribute one way or another in terms of ideas or whatever. So we can do joint supervision as well. At if we do that, the good thing is the KPI, the point, the KPI that we can get is higher than the KPI if we have all of them, all the supervisors are from So in a way, it is a good thing to do that as well. Joint supervision. So by having joint supervision, we can have joint research, and we can have a joint publication as well. I think that is one of the best things to do as well. I think that is all from me. I don't know how much time.
It's okay, sir. No problem. It's okay. You got really clear now. Is that enough?
Yeah, I am done now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, doctor. All right, that's very clear over there. There will be MOA, sorry, and there will be some kind of agreement between faculties, both of them, and then the joint research, also the joint publication. That will be the big point coming from the 3 statements that you have already finished for today. Now, while we are doing some break time over here, so we are not going to everywhere. Let's everyone just come to the table and bring the menus over there, and you may enjoy about your meal if you have it some, sir. Sorry. I'll try to make some kind of questions between our our members over here. Some kind of lecturers just want to know exactly more about University of Malaya. Your explanation is very clear and it's really nice, especially about the Petronas. I would like to be there for myself, especially. All right, so here we go. The first question, let me open up some questions, maybe coming from, sir, ma'am, Dr. Yoga, the leader coming from OSIA. I'll try to collect the questions, then you may answer directly, yeah? I will try to collect the question first, and then you may answer directly coming from the question. All right? So it's time for you. Ma'am?
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandy Jamaludin. Thank you so much, Dr. Nick, for your wonderful presentations. That's really great, and I'm very happy to see the presentations. That's a very good university, ranked 9 in Asia. Wow, we have to learn a lot from University Malaya, especially you, because you are the coming from the engineering faculty, that we are coming from the engineering faculty. First of all, I would like to ask you, so you suggest us to have the MOA, not the MOU. Okay, I do agree with that very much. MOA with the implementation, of course. I would like to ask the dean first after I confirm this matter to you. So how long it will take the process for the MOA signing in your university? I mean, in the Faculty of Engineering, because I would like to prepare the draft and I send to you, and then you may have the reviewer process for the MOA, and then you send it back to us here. And my question, how long it will be the process?
Is that it? That's the question?
Hold a second, let me.
Or do you want me to answer now?
Yeah. I need to directly having the interactions with you. There are some points that I have to ask you directly regarding the MOA.
Frankly speaking, I don't know how long it will take, but what I know is we have all the document already. It is set document already. Where I have no, I cannot, because what I was told by our deputy dean this morning, he said that the document has to go through the legal department first to check everything is in order. But anyway, I don't think it's going to take a very long time. And I don't know, during this pandemic time here, everything is online. How do they do it? Because normally when we did it, especially if when they will do it at engineering, where our vice chancellor will come to the faculty actually, and everything will be very official. But when it is online, I don't know how do they do it.
Let me explain to you for Bapak Ibu izin dulu ya, ini sebenarnya kaitannya dengan MOA. I would like to explain to you so far what we have done the online MOA or MOU signing. Usually, I send you the draft via email, and then there will be a review process from your legal board. Of course, you have it. I believe you have a legal board for reviewing process. And then if then there is no revision, or if there is a revision, you have to send it to us back. And after that, we will, if it is necessary, we will have the meeting online, a Zoom meeting, of course, between the two faculties, the dean and also the deputy deans. Of course, the persons in charge will sign the MOA. And when there is, and when we have reached the agreement about that, I mean the draft, and then that will be signed electronically. So you will sign there, and then you send me here. Of course, we need if there you need a ceremonial, official ceremony, we will do that. Sure, it can be discussed further later on. But the point is, I sent you the draft first, and you review that, and then if you agree, and then you signed, and you send me back to the email, and then vice versa. And the original MOA will be sent via the HR post, right? That's the original copy, if it is possible. Usually we have three kind of copies. One is the original, one is the soft copy, that is PDF form, that has been signed by both parties, UPS Tegal and the engineering faculty of University of Malaya. That's normally we do for MOA signing or MOU signing online. Of course, I can understand it will take time. That is why I asked you. Normally, some universities like Russia, Morocco, and the last one is the Turkey. It takes only about 2 weeks for the process of the MOU. After both agrees, and then we have a ceremony, online ceremony with the persons in charge with the rector, between the rectors and all the directors. And in this case, we can have it with the deans of our faculty and your faculty, of course, if it is agreed by both parties. We will discuss further, but the first point is I will send you an MOA draft and you may revise it. And we don't want to have the sleeping MOA, of course. That is why we would like to invite you for the online lectures, for example. Begitu ya Pak Dekan ya, bisa diundang untuk online lectures. Ya. I have talked to the dean that he agrees to invite you for the online lecturers or online visiting professor to teach our students. But we have to provide the two languages, Bahasa Indonesia and also, Bahasa Melayu and also English versions. That's the point. So we want the implementation as soon as possible. The MOA is agreed by both parties, especially in joint publication and joint research. Because you have explained to us, you have 45 publications with Indonesian universities, right?
Sorry, what is it?
45 publications papers with Indonesian universities. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that is. We want to be one of the partner of University Malaya, who has a very high rank in Asia. So we would like to learn a lot, especially from you, Professor Dr. Nick. That we are very happy for us. That's all my explanations. Please, I would like to hear from your side. Thank you, Dr. Nick.
Okay. In terms of that MOU, MOA, maybe you can send me the draft, because at the faculty we have all MOA and MOU will be handled by Deputy Dean Office. We have our own unit who is handling all that. So you give me the document, and then I will pass it to them, and then they will be looking for it. They will be looking at it. I don't think it's going to take a long time. Saya tak akan ambil masa yang lama. Mungkin ambil masa yang sekejap saja, macam seminggu, 2 minggu. Especially now, online, everything is online, even easier, I think. And in terms of about teaching online your students, I would love to do that actually.
Yeah, we love to. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to hear your answer. I will send a draft to you as soon as possible, maybe on Monday, and we will keep in touch very often. If you don't,
yes, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so it is very nice to know you. Thank you. Maybe Dr. Nick, is that very clear? Because I'm the one who in charge for the agreement. That is why my question is about agreement. For the implementations, we will discuss further after the agreement.
Yes.
Yeah. That is why I want to stay in touch with you, keep in touch with you. I will be 24/7 for you. Don't worry, you can send me, text me anytime. I will answer directly. Thank you so much, Professor Bakani. Back to the moderator. Mungkin ada Bapak Ibu yang lain boleh tanya pakai bahasa Indonesia, Dr. Nick. Can they ask you?
I will translate the word. I will translate. Okay. So all the lectures over here, you may speak in Bahasa Indonesia, and I will try to translate it into English. And I think Dr. Nick really understand about it in Bahasa Indonesia, right?
Yeah, boleh.
Boleh. Cakap bahasa Melayu boleh ya? Macam
boleh.
Ya?
Cuma kadang-kadang tu ada perkataan yang saya tak faham.
Yeah. That's okay, sir. That's okay, sir. All right. So who's going to be the next question? That's coming from the OCIA. Is there somebody from the lectures coming from here? So who wants to get some questions? Feel free to speak in bahasa. Silakan, ada yang mau bertanya menggunakan bahasa Indonesia boleh? Mau bertanya memalukan dan memilukan ya. Pak Hadi mau bertanya. All right. Okay, let me just try to come closer to the audiences when the audience is still confused about it. You know, Dr. Nick, I would like to resume about your presentation. It's really nice to know you, and I had already read all of your CV. That's really fantastic. But I didn't explain more detail about your CV. I had already shared with everyone. So for some people who just want to know exactly more about you, we can get some questions from here. But I think they got a little bit busy with what kind of questions about it. Maybe I'm asking about the first question coming from me, myself. What kind of the best what's called the best activity for the students before the pandemic? Especially, we have the engineering faculty. We have some laboratory that we explore more about the new environment, the new, some kind of maybe some kind of project, some kind of activity that will be show about the new invention, some kind of maybe the newest thing. For example, if I'm not mistaken, we have the electrical machinery for the engine, or maybe some kind of hybrid. We try to mix and match between, something that we have already done, but we try to create it more effective, or let's say more green, or some kind of that one. What do you think about in University of Malaya? Do you have some special moment coming from, or special activities for the students before the pandemic?
You mean in terms of what is happening now with the pandemic?
Yeah. Before the pandemic. Because pandemic 2 years ago, it looks so really busy coming from, the room. I can see it. That's really fantastic.
Oh, all right. I think in terms of the research that can be done because of the pandemic now, actually I have recently have one new PhD student from China. The research is on how to do simulation of the spreading of the virus at the hospital, the waiting room, because in China, she said that it is not like in Malaysia. Everything, I don't know about Indonesia, everything is air conditioned, isn't it? All the rooms are air conditioned, closed space. So what is happening in China is it is still like the windows are open. It is like semi-ventilated. So they want to prove that which one is better between fully contained space or semi-open like that. So that is one of the things that we can do. But it's a bit difficult to do in terms of even the nature, the properties of the virus of this COVID-19. We still are not very sure of. Some people say that it can be airborne, but as far as we can understand, if they have, even if they can be airborne, it can still be less dense than the air, isn't it? Sooner or later, they will still be dropping to ground. They have the mass. So that is one of the things that is quite difficult to do the simulation of, because we want to know what is the property of the virus and all. I think about in terms of my research, I did a lot of computer simulation. And when you do computer simulation, it can be applied to almost everything. Almost everything. What is happening around us. All engineering problem, what is happening in this thing, and all method can be simulated with computer simulation, which is the good thing about it. So almost everything that is the research is concerned can be linked with computer simulation. That is why if you notice that I have PhD students, about 16 of them. Now, 5 of them will be graduating this year. 2 waiting for the viva, and 3 about to submit the thesis. So every year, I think from in the next 2-3 years, I will be graduating like 5 students per year. So I did various things. Like one student, they did the research is on the one that I explained to you just now, isn't it? On the stenosis, the heart condition, the artery. After we eat a lot of cholesterol food, highly cholesterol food, junk food, after some time, the artery will become blocked, isn't it? So we did the simulation of that as well. What is the effect of multiple stenosis? And when you do something like that, of course, initially it is quite difficult because depending on how accurate you want your results to be. Because when the blood is flowing through the artery, the pressure from the artery to the body is going to be something, isn't it? You want to make it rigid. If you make it rigid, then it's going to be simpler, but the result is not going to be very accurate. When you want to publish in journals, the more accurate that you get the results of then the easier is going to be the possibility of publishing the paper. So it's going to be very difficult, something like that, to do something like that. But after you do it, then it's going to be very easy. You just change, like what is the percentage of the blockage, 50%, 60%, 70%. That is very similar to when people do biodiesel
engineering.
Biodiesel engineering research. That's why if you notice, there are a lot of publication on that biodiesel. If you look around, a lot of people are published on biodiesel materials, especially on nano and lubrication for mechanical engineering. Why is that? Because it is easier to publish. If you notice all my papers, my public publication, and all my students, only one student he did on biodiesel. Wow. The reason for having that one student is just because I want to prove that it is easier to publish papers in biodiesel, in materials, in nano stuff, than in other field of research. I had this one student from India. Of course, he worked very, very hard. He's waiting for his viva now. He came to me that he wanted to do PhD under me on biodiesel. I said to him that biodiesel is not my specialization. My specialization is in CFD. But he insisted on appointing me to be the supervisor. I don't know why.
That's good. Because you said to me that the implementation is the most important thing. How to apply directly on reality on your daily life. That's really nice. It's really inspiring for everybody. All right. So I think everyone had already enjoyed about the meals. Other questions coming from Mr. Dean over there. The microphone is over there, ma'am. All right. Thank you so much. So we have a question coming from the Dean of the Engineering Faculty and the Computer Science. Sir Dr. Agus, it's time for you.
Terima kasih ini ya. Ini pakai bahasa Indonesia.
That's right. That's okay, no problem.
Oh, makasih. Iya, terima kasih ini ya. Jadi tadi disampaikan riset yang terakhir itu menarik bagi saya gitu ya, karena kebetulan minat penelitian saya itu ada di biofuel ya, termasuk biodiesel juga. Yang sedang kita kembangkan salah satunya adalah bagaimana membuat nanti Pak Sande diartikan ya dalam bahasa Inggris. Ya, jadi membuat pengkodean pada saat pembakaran. Nah, ini termasuk baru ya, visual gitu ya, visual. Bagaimana warna pembakaran pada biodiesel, kemudian gridnya berapa nanti pengkodean pada detik pertama, detik kedua, detik ketiga dengan kamera 1/1000 second. Itu kita buat kode semacam DNA pada tubuh manusia. Nah, ini kita risetnya seperti itu. Nah, ini pertanyaannya apakah ini bisa untuk di join risetkan begitu ya. Jadi misalkan begini, yang paling mudah bahan yang ada di Malaysia dibakar. Nah, kemudian nanti fotonya dikirim, video dikirim ke kita. Nah, kita analisa dengan teknik yang tadi menggunakan pengkodean tadi. Warnanya itu kan kita kalau dalam RGB itu punya 3 warna. Nanti gridnya itu 125. Jadi grid 125 warna yang berbeda pada satu warna. Merah saja atau biru saja itu punya kode sampai 125. Nah, pada saat pembakaran tertentu itu di Belanda sudah ada jurnalnya, itu juga di Jepang sudah ada jurnalnya. Nah, kita mengembangkan itu dengan waktu yang 1/1000 itu detik pertama 1/1000 itu nanti warnanya larinya kodenya seperti apa. Nah, itu dibandingkan dengan biopul yang sudah standar, nanti kita pendekatannya ke arah sana gitu ya, sehingga kita harapannya punya cara yang lebih mudah untuk mengkategorikan biopul dengan teknologi sederhana visual. Itu goalnya itu dari riset kita, dan kita sudah ada di untuk Scopus juga jurnal 2 di Q2 Q3 juga beberapa di seminar internasional tulisan kita. Nah, ini apakah bisa di join riset kan? Begitu. Terima kasih, Prof. Nick.
Okay, so Dr. Professor, do you understand what is the point coming from the team? Should I explain into English?
No, I can.
Good. Okay.
I can.
You may answer it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Macam saya bagi tahu tadi, saya sebenarnya biodiesel ni dekat mekanik engineering we sell research, and we have a few yang top professor kita yang memang area dia area biodiesel. Maybe I can boleh linkkan Dr. Agus dengan mereka nanti untuk untuk further collaboration in term of research. Boleh ke Dr. Agus?
Thank you, sir. All right. Wow, that's really nice and simple one because it's connecting with the coding. That's what will be connecting with the characters of the Bibles itself. So we can try also compare between the Petronas and Pertamina, between both of the biodiesel, because maybe it's going to be similar, but perhaps sometimes going to be, I don't know which one is better. All right. So who's going to be the next question? Thank you, Sir Agus, Sir Dr. Agus. Here we go. Okay, Sir Subiakto. It's going to be your time.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Abbas.
Dr. Nick, Professor Dr. Nick.
I am Subiakto from mechanical engineering. One question from me. What is the concentrating of mechanical engineering in Malaya University? Question. And second group, what is the procedure research together of internal lecturer, or how can we join in research between Malaya University and Pancasakti University?
The second question is already answered. Yeah, we can make it a joint. Sir, sorry.
Okay.
So the first question is, what is the concentrate of the engineering? Yeah.
Yes.
The what is
Concentration.
what is the concentration?
What is the concentration?
Okay.
Mechanical engineering.
Okay, what is the focus on mechanical engineering exactly in University of Malaya, Sir Professor Dr. Nick? Can you answer it?
Okay, dekat di Faculty of Engineering, Universiti Malaya, because the research is going to be orang kata apa reflected on the type of papers yang kita publish. Jadi kalau kita tengok dekat publication dekat mechanical engineering, most of the publication is coming from biodiesel, materials, especially on nanomaterial is a biggie now lah kan. Sebab apa ni, because of it can improve heat transfer and all. Almost everything sekarang ni, kalau we talk about material, there will be some nano there, and it is easier to publish now. That's why I told you just now, isn't it? Bila kita jadi pensyarah ni, our career tu kan, the more the paper you publish, the better you're going to be. It doesn't matter if you are like the bestest teacher in the world kan. People don't look at it too much. If you publish not too many paper, and you are like the best lecturer in the world, the best teacher in the world, you are not considered as the best lecturer. Everything is depending on how many papers you publish. And from my take, from my conclusion actually, in order to we want to publish papers in as many as possible. So publish in something that is easier to publish. So like what I told you just now, area yang senang untuk publish now is in biodiesel, material, benda-benda yang macam gitu. It is easier to publish rather than you go to doing something that is difficult, like something to do on aerodynamics, simulation, which is more technical. I think that is a very good point lah to me. That's why I always advise orang yang nak buat PhD kan. If you want to do your PhD, don't do something that is difficult. Do something that is easy to publish, because like in UM, I told you already, in order to get a PhD, you have to get 2 ISI publication. So the first thing that you have to do is to find a lecturer yang publish a lot of papers first. And normally lecturer yang publish a lot of papers yang dalam area yang tu lah, area yang biodiesel apa semua ni. Yang recently I become panel untuk satu proposal defense yang buat dengan dia in conjunction, dia ada buat co-supervision juga dengan universiti apa saya dah lupa dekat Aceh, satu universiti dekat Aceh. So dia supervisor seorang daripada universiti di Aceh dan seorang universiti di Universitas Malaya, mechanical engineering. Dia buat biodiesel from buah nangka, jackfruit. So that is what I mean. Benda-benda yang macam tu kita boleh exploit untuk buat itulah. But again, it is between you are trained to become an engineer or a scientist, isn't it? Kalau macam saya pernah pergi ke salah satu viva PhD defense, daripada my conclusion, the whole conclusion yang dibuat tu PhD tu, the improvement to us on the coefficient of friction, dibuat lubrication. The improvement that he managed to get is like 0.002, something like that. Very, very small improvement aja. So as an engineer, I see that there is not an improvement, isn't it? Kita ni semua ditrain sebagai an engineer, isn't it? To be more practical, bukan a scientist. I don't know, some people they tend to be a scientist, some people they tend to be an engineer. An engineer ni they're trying to be more practical. Kalau 0.002, that is not an improvement at all, isn't it? But untuk scientists, that is an improvement already. So because of it is an improvement, you can publish paper. It is easy to publish. So that's to answer your question, I think yang dekat Universitas Malaya sekarang ni kita banyak buat research on biodiesel lah banyak.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Sir Professor Dr. Nick. It's really great, great answer to know about that one, especially connecting with some kind of aerodynamic or some kind of that one. Okay, we have only 2 more questions. That's very limited. The time. Okay, next. The candidate doctor, Sir Irfan.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Sade.
Sami-sami.
Good morning, Dr. Nick. Saya ada beberapa pertanyaan, mungkin teknis, dan terima kasih atas about your wonderful presentation. So, tadi yang ditunggu-tunggu kita itu adalah presentasi dari Dr. Nick itu mengenai profil lecture in University Malaya and about specification or skill in your lecture. Itu yang pertama. Jadi yang kita tunggu itu adalah tadi ada presentasi profil dari dosen-dosen di Universitas Malaysia dan serta spesifikasi risetnya. Kemudian yang kedua adalah saya tertarik dengan about skill dari Dr. Nick. Tadi menyampaikan ahli di bidang numerical method, computational fluid dynamics, and computational mathematics. And then I have some research about desalination. Saya sedang menulis riset tentang desalinasi atau seawater distillate seawater yang cukup simpel. And I want to propose with numerical method analysis. Apakah ada beberapa dosen yang di Universitas Malaysia itu konsentrasi di bidang riset desalinasi, itu yang pertama. Kemudian yang kedua, apakah Dr. Nick nanti bersedia untuk join publikasi dengan mungkin saya mengenai tulisan saya yang sedang saya tulis about desalination. I want to propose with numerical method analysis. Itu. Terima kasih.
Okay, sir. Do you got the point? What is the question?
Can you please? I got number 2 and number 3. Number 1 to talk about clear. Number 1 apa tadi?
It's about the lecturer's profile, sir. It's about lecturer's profile. The lecturer's profile.
Profile.
Yeah, from the lecturers. The whole of the lecturers coming from the engineering faculty from University of Malaya. Do you have some kind of maybe just like the curriculum vitae, so I can make it share it directly, so you are not necessary to explain in detail. Just in case if you are not really clear and clean about it, you may just send it maybe on the file. Jadi barangkali nggak jelas, mungkin bisa dikirimkan lewat file kalau memang ada. Di-emailkan ke Pak Agus. Just send it the email about the lecturer's profile, about the specifications coming from the lecturer's profile. If you have the complete specification, just send it to email so we can learn more about it directly. So you are not necessarily to be answered. But for the second question and the third questions, it's going to be yours.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yang pasal the first question tadi pasal profile lecturer. Actually, I told you already at the beginning of my presentation. I got the notice to do this presentation within two days. Preparation is a bit lacking there. But actually, one of my plan for my presentation this morning is to give you exactly that, because your intention is to do research collaboration with us. So it is good if you know what our lecturers are doing, the research that they are doing now. So actually, I will send it later to Pak Agus. Maybe he can distribute it to everyone. But actually, at mechanical engineering, especially, we have cluster already. Material cluster, computational mathematics, cluster fluid dynamics. All of them we have already. So each cluster, they have their own strength in the research. And I will also give, actually I have it already, but I have to dig in where it is, but I didn't have time to do it this morning. I will send it later. Is it okay or not? Huh? Anyway, I will give you the name of the lecturers, the cluster they are in, and the type of research that they are doing. But actually, for all the information that if you go to the mechanical engineering website, there are all the list of the lecturers from each of the department, like Department of Mechanical Engineering. They have the list of the name already. And if you click like on my name, it will bring you straight to my CV. And in that CV, it will tell you everything about me. Where I got my degree from, how many publications I did, how many numbers of, what is the number of PhD students that I have now. Everything is there already. That is why it is easier to dig in about stuff of of University Malaya. You just get you Google Nick Nazri UM, you press on search, it will be at the top of your Google search. And then everything about me will be there. They call it UM expert. Okay, that is number one. I will to Dr. Agus, Pak Agus untuk detail about the profile. Number two, about your research, desalination, isn't it? Normally, I don't remember anyone from mechanical engineering is doing desalination, but I know some people from chemical engineering who are doing desalination, also doing CFD and on desalination, because I think desalination, it involves more on the chemical property of the material, something like that, isn't it? At mechanical, we don't normally we don't go too deeply into the molecules into that level. Normally, we just do like on the surface what is happening in terms of the motion of the fluid, something like that. And the third question on the agreement on the joint publication with you, I really don't mind to do that. But I told you already, my specialization is in CFD. I did a lot of simulation. I do code development as well. Code development. If somebody is doing PhD with me, like all my students, if they do simulation, I always make sure that they know what is happening behind the scene. I don't want them to use the software as like a black box, like when you want to solve a flow in a pipe, what is happening when a flow of a gas in a pipe. You can actually just do simulation using Fluent, isn't it, a software. You just click on iterate. At the end of the simulation, you get all the beautiful pictures in it. But I don't want that. I want my students to know what is happening behind it. What is the software is all about? Fluent, the software Fluent they use. What is Fluent is all about? I know that we know that it is solving the equation, like the 5 equations. There's just the equation, continuity equation, momentum equation, and energy equation, the 5 equations. I want them to learn about that because they are doing PhD. When you do your PhD, you have to know everything about it. you don't just use the software like a black box. So that is my take. So my answer to your third question, I really don't mind if you want to do co-supervision with me. But at the same time, I will also be looking at some lecturers from chemical engineering. I'm very sure there is no staff, no lecturers from mechanical engineering is doing desalination, because it involves something, evaporation involves something like that, isn't it? So I will try to get somebody from chemical engineering to help you.
Okay.
Is it
Thank
okay?
you so much, sir. Dr. Lesson. Pak Irfan, okay, is it enough? Clear now? Okay, thank you. Last question is coming from Pak Saubik. Here we go. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Mick. I want to ask you about the research of manufacturing. And the question is, can manufacturing research using experimental method? Sir, is it possible the manufacturing research is using the experimental method? From Saubik. That's the question, sir.
Doing manufacturing using experimental method.
Yeah, is it possible? What do you think?
Okay. I'm not. I don't do much experimental research, but some of my students they did both experiment and also the simulation. Normally, when we do simulation, CFD, we need to one of the most important part of simulation is in validation, because we know that simulation is all about approximation, isn't it? You just do the approximation, but we don't know if your numerical method is good enough or not. So the way to convince people that the results, the beautiful pictures that you get from a simulation is good or not is by doing validation. So normally when we do validation, it's validation with the experiment. So that is why experiment is important. Actually, if everybody wants to do research, everywhere, even in the NASA people designing high-speed aeroplane, jet, fighter, something like that, they all, as much as possible, they want to do experiment, isn't it? Because by doing experiment is giving you the best answer. But sometimes it is not cost effective. That is why people do simulation. But normally people do experiment is just to do the validation, for validation now. You just do a simple experiment, and then you get the results, and then you do the simulation, you complement. The experiment is like a complement to complement your results to your simulation work. Because like what I told you just now, simulation, when you do simulation, you don't know if your result is okay or not. So to answer your question just now, is it okay to do manufacturing by experiment only? But sometimes it is not, number one, it is not cost effective. Number two, sometimes it is impossible to do it. Impossible to do it because of one thing or another, you know why, isn't it? Because of dangerous material, it is impossible to do experiment. That's why people resort to do simulation. But as much as possible, people want to do experiment on manufacturing. I think that is my answer to it.
All right, thank you so much, sir. At least we get to understand about what you have already explained in detail. And perhaps for the next, we can make it some kind of, after MOA had already accepted and done it, we can make it really directly jump into the reality, what will be happen for today. It's really glad to know you, sir, Professor Dr. Nick. And I'm really sorry because the time is very limited. And thank you so much for the questions coming from Ma'am Yoga, and then Sir Subiakto, and then Sir Dean Agus, and then Sir Ivan, and the last one, Sir Sovik. So I would like to thank you so much for this one. Okay, I'll try to get going to be on the closing ceremony for right now. It's glad to know you more. We can make it sure that I will get back to Sir Ma'am Yoga to make it sure about this one for the closing one. It's time for you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sabai Jamaludin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally we have come to the end of the agenda. Thank you so much for today. Dr. Nid, I would like to make a closing statement that today we are very happy, we are very grateful to have you here, of course, and we are also very grateful for the process of the MOA, as the output of today's meeting will be soon granted. I mean, I will send you the draft directly to your email. I will ask you from Agus, and then you can have the reviewing process after that. And then we will keep in touch to talk about the further ceremonial or further technical matters of this MOA process, signing process. Thank you so much, Dr. Nick, today. Hopefully, we will meet you again for being our online visiting professor for our students after the MOA signing is conducted. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day. I'll see you again for the next meeting. Bye, everybody.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
I'll see you again for the next meeting. Bye. What a pleasure, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right, that's before the last meeting. Okay, so we can make some photographs together, sir. We get some photo session. A moment, please. Okay, let's get the photograph together with you behind of the board. Everybody can, Mr. Dean, can you just come closer to make it sure, and everybody just want to get closer to make it sure coming from the screen over here. And the head of the is coming from the whole of the cameras over there. Okay. Let's get the participant if you just want to get photographs. Okay, we just try to turn around for the screen, so all of the participants can understand exactly that you are on the screen. Just a moment.
Pak Agus, I can leave now, isn't it?
Pak Agus is over there. Get a photograph over there. Just a minute. Here we go. That's it.
Kami ucapkan terima kasih. Saya Muhammad Agus Sidik yang saat ini berkomunikasi terus-menerus dengan Prof. Nik. Kami sekali lagi mengucapkan terima kasih dan mohon dukungan untuk saya. Insya Allah bisa ketemu di Malaysia, Prof. Oke, terima kasih, Prof.
Okay, so terima kasih semua. Thank you for the invitation. I hope that one day nanti kita akan adakan meeting proper antara jabatan kami, Jabatan Kejuruteraan Mechanical dengan jabatan dengan Fakulti Mesin di UPS, insyaAllah.
Insya Allah.
So,
terima kasih. Bye-bye, Prof.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Mohon izin Bapak Ibu, setelah ini Bapak Ibu dipersilakan untuk menuju ke ruang makan nelayan ya, kafe nelayan. Tempatnya di bawah, nanti belok ke kiri. Sekaligus coffee break sudah disiapkan di sana dan juga uang transport nanti kita siapkan langsung di bawah saja. Terima kasih atas kerjasama Bapak Ibu dan kehadirannya. Mohon maaf kurang lebihnya atas segala kesalahan dan kehilafan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, sama aku sesuai gitu. Tapi aku sebenarnya Katanya kalau Pak Makan ada transporter.